One day, you will wake up and realize something that most people discover too late. Time never stopped. It never waited. It never slowed down. Just because you weren't ready! Every sunrise arrives on schedule. Every sunset leaves on schedule. And with each passing day, a part of your life quietly disappears forever. Most people think they are losing money. Some believe they are losing opportunities. But the greatest loss in life is wasted time. Because money can be earned again. Opportunities can return. Skills can be learned. But to, single hour, once it is gone, can never be brought back. Think about the person you wanted to become, the goals you wrote down, the dreams that once filled your heart with excitement. Now ask yourself honestly, how much of that dream has been delayed? Not because you lacked talent, but because you believed. You still had plenty of time. That is the greatest illusion. We live as though tomorrow is guaranteed. As though another chance will always come. As though one more day of waiting will never matter. But life has a different plan. Days become weeks. Weeks become months. Months become years. And one morning, you look in the mirror, wondering where the time went. The truth is painful. Time did not disappear. It was spent. One unnecessary distraction. One unnecessary excuse. One necessary delay at a time. Every successful person eventually understands one powerful truth. Time is not life's currency. Time is life itself. How you spend your hours is how you spend your life. That means every decision matters. Every morning matters. Every habit matters. Every single day, you are writing the story of your future. Whether you realize it or not. This speech is not here to make you feel guilty. It is here to wake you up. To remind you that there is still time. To stop wasting time. There is still time. To become disciplined. There is still time. To build the future you've imagined. But only if you decide to begin today. Not tomorrow. Not next Monday. Not next month. Because the greatest mistake is believing you have unlimited tomorrows. You don't. None of us do. What you have is today, this moment, this decision. And perhaps that is all you ever truly needed. There is a thief that enters every life. It doesn't wear a mask. It doesn't break down doors. It doesn't announce its arrival. It simply takes one moment at a time. That shifu is wasted time. The dangerous thing about time is this. You rarely notice it disappearing. 5 minutes on your phone turns into an hour. One lazy afternoon becomes another unfinished day. One postponed goal becomes another forgotten dream. It happens so quietly that you hardly notice until one day you wonder why your life hasn't changed. Many people believe they have a time problem. I don't have enough hours. But the truth is often different. The problem isn't a lack of time. It's a lack of awareness. Every person wakes up with the same 24 hours. The difference is not the amount of time. The difference is how that time is used. Imagine receiving a priceless gift every morning. 24 fresh hours. No one can save them. No one can borrow more. No one can carry them into tomorrow. Eti mito, naito. Whatever wasn't used wisely disappears forever. Life works exactly the same way. Every sunrise places another opportunity into your hands. Every sunset quietly takes it away without asking if you were ready, without waiting for your excuses. Time keeps moving, whether you move with it or not. Now think about this. How many times have you said, "I'll do it later"? Later feels harmless. Later sounds safe. But later has stolen more dreams than failure ever has. Because later slowly becomes next week. Next week becomes next month. Next month becomes next year. And before you realize it, years have passed. Nothing changed. Not because you lacked potential, but because you kept delaying your potential. The saddest part is this. Most people don't realize the value of today. Until today has become yesterday, do not make that mistake. Protect your mornings. Protect your attention. Protect your focus. Because every distraction asks for one thing: your time. And when you give away your time carelessly, you are giving away pieces of your life. Remember this. You are not only spending minutes, you are spending moments that will never return. The conversation you delayed. The skill you never learned. The book you never opened. The opportunity you never accepted. Time quietly records every decision. Not to punish you, but to reveal your priorities. If something truly matters, give it your time. Because where your time goes, your life follows. 1 hour invested in learning can change your future. 1 hour invested in building your dream can change your family's future. 1 hour invested in improving yourself can change your identity. Never underestimate the value of a single hour. Great lives are not built in giant moments. They are built in ordinary hours, used extraordinarily well. So, stop asking, where did the time go? Instito, Sasuke, where am I choosing to spend it? Because the answer to that question will determine the direction of your life. And one day, when you look back, you will not remember every minute you lived. You will remember how easily, or how carelessly you chose to spend them. Tomorrow! It is one of the most comforting words in the world. It gives us hope. It gives us another chance. It whispers. You don't have to start today. You can begin tomorrow. There is still plenty of time. And for a while, we believe it. That is the illusion. Tomorrow feels certain. But in reality, tomorrow is only a promise we make to ourselves. A promise that life never guaranteed. How many dreams have been postponed because of one simple word? Tomorrow. How many books remain unread? How many businesses were never started? How many conversations were never spoken? How many opportunities quietly disappeared? While someone kept saying, "I'll do it tomorrow." The tragedy is not that people fail. The tragedy is that many people never truly begin. Imagine standing at the edge of a river. You keep waiting for the water to stop flowing so you can cross? You tell yourself, when life becomes easier, when I have more money, when I have more confidence, when the timing is perfect, but the river never stops. Life never becomes completely free of problems. There will always be another challenge, another excuse. Another reason to wait. If you spend your life waiting for perfect conditions, you may spend your entire life waiting. The people who achieve extraordinary things do not wait for perfect moments. They create them. They understand that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move, even while fear is still present. Think back to a time when you delayed something important. Maybe it was a goal, a phone call, a new habit, a difficult conversation. Ask yourself honestly, did delaying it make it easier? Or did it make it heavier? Most of the time, the task itself was never the problem. The waiting made it bigger. The longer we delay, the more our imagination creates fear. A simple step becomes a giant mountain. An ordinary challenge becomes an impossible mission. That is the hidden cost of postponement. The mind begins to believe that starting is harder than it really is. But something remarkable happens the moment you take the first step. Fear begins to lose its power. Doubt becomes quieter. Confidence slowly begins to grow. Not because everything suddenly became easy, but because action changes your mindset. Many people believe confidence comes before action. Life teaches the opposite. Confidence is born through action. Every small victory tells your mind, you can do this. Every promise you keep strengthens your belief in yourself. Every step forward makes the next step easier. That is why today matters so much. Because today is real. Today is within your control. Tomorrow is only an idea. Never sacrifice something real for something uncertain. If there is a dream in your heart, begin today. If there is a skill you want to learn, begin today. If there is someone you need to forgive, begin today. If there is a life you want to build, begin today. Not because today is perfect, but because today is all you truly have. Years from now, you will not regret the days you acted with courage. You will regret the days you allowed fear to convince you that tomorrow was a better choice. So don't wait. Don't postpone your future. Don't let another sunrise pass without taking one meaningful step. Because one small step today is infinitely more valuable than 1,000 perfect plans for tomorrow. The greatest danger in life is not always failure. Sometimes it is distraction. Because failure teaches you, distraction slowly steals you. One notification, one short video, one quick scroll. You tell yourself, just 5 minutes. But 5 minutes become 30. 30 minutes become 2 hours. And before you know it, another day has disappeared. Not because you worked hard. Not because you rested with purpose, but because your attention was taken away. The world is full of things competing for your focus. Every app wants your attention. Every notification wants your eyes. Every distraction wants a piece of your time. And if you are not careful, you will spend your life building someone else's success instead of your own. Think about a magnifying glass. When sunlight is scattered, it warms nothing. But when that same light is focused on one point, it becomes powerful enough to start a fire. Your attention works the same way. A distracted mind creates average results. A focused mind creates extraordinary ones. Ask yourself honestly, how often do you begin something important, only to stop because your phone vibrates? How many great ideas have been interrupted by unnecessary distractions? How many opportunities have been delayed because your attention was somewhere else? Distraction is expensive, not because it steals minutes, but because It steals momentum. And momentum is one of the most valuable forces in life. Once you are focused, progress becomes easier. Ideas begin to flow. Energy increases. Confidence grows. But every interruption forces you to begin again. That is why successful people protect their focus. They understand that attention is a limited resource. Where attention goes, energy follows. And where energy goes, results appear. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water. While there are holes in the bottom, no matter how much water you pour, the bucket never fills. That is exactly what distractions do. You work hard, but constant interruptions quietly drain your progress. The solution is not to work longer. The solution is to focus deeper. Create moments of silence. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Put your phone away when you are working. Give one task your complete attention. Even 1 hour of deep focus can accomplish more than an entire day of constant interruptions. Remember this: your future is created by what you pay attention to. If you constantly feed your mind with noise, your life becomes noisy. If you feed your mind with knowledge, your life becomes wiser. If you feed your mind with purpose, your future becomes stronger. Every day you make a choice. Will you control your attention, or will your attention control you? Because the quality of your focus determines the quality of your life. Years from now, people will admire your success. They will see your achievements. They will celebrate your results. But they will never see the thousands of distractions you chose to ignore. That is the hidden price of greatness. So, protect your attention. Guard your time. Choose your priorities carefully, because every moment you spend focused on what truly matters is another step toward the life you were meant to live. There is something dangerous about waiting. Not waiting because you need wisdom. Not waiting because you need preparation. But waiting because you are afraid to begin. Fear often disguises itself as patience. It tells you, wait until you're ready. Wait until you know more. Wait until everything is perfect. But perfection is a destination that no one ever reaches. The longer you wait, the heavier your dreams become. A simple idea turns into a complicated plan. A small goal becomes an overwhelming challenge. And before long, you convince yourself that it is too late. But it was never too late. You simply waited too long to believe in yourself. Think about a train leaving a station. It doesn't wait forever. If you arrive late, the train continues without you. Life is filled with moments like that. Opportunities arrive quietly. Sometimes they knock only once. If you are always waiting, you may never even hear the knock. Many people believe successful people were lucky. But what looks like luck is often preparation meeting opportunity. While others waited. They were learning. While others complained. They were improving. While others hesitated. They took one small step forward. That one step changed everything. Remember! Every expert was once a beginner. Every confident speaker was once nervous. Every successful business started with a single customer. Every great achievement began before the person felt completely ready. No one begins as a master. They become one by starting. Ask yourself this question. What are you waiting for? more confidence. Confidence grows through action. More time. Time is created by priorities. The perfect opportunity. Opportunity often appears only after you begin moving. Waiting feels safe, but safety can become a prison. Because every day you delay, you teach your mind that fear deserves to win. And every day you act, you teach your mind that courage is stronger than fear. Do not misunderstand courage. Courage does not mean you are never afraid. Courage means you refuse to let fear make your decisions. There will always be uncertainty. There will always be risk. But there is an even greater risk. Reaching the end of your life, knowing you never gave your dreams a real chance. Imagine looking back years from now. Not asking, what if I had failed? But asking, what if I had tried? That question carries a weight that few people can escape. Do not carry that weight. Carry discipline instead. Carry responsibility. Carry action. Because those things become lighter with time. Regret becomes heavier. Every sunrise is an invitation. An invitation to begin again. To stop waiting. To stop doubting. To stop delaying the person you were meant to become. Remember this. The future does not belong to the people who wait. It belongs to the people who act. So take the first step, however small it may seem, because one courageous step today is worth more than 1,000 perfect intentions. Left for tomorrow. 1 hour. Just 60 minutes. It doesn't sound like much. Most people spend an hour without even noticing where it went. 1 hour scrolling. 1 hour complaining. 1 hour worrying. 1 hour doing things that won't matter tomorrow. Now imagine using that same hour differently. 1 hour reading. 1 hour learning a new skill. 1 hour building a business. 1 hour exercising. 1 hour improving your future. The difference seems small. But over time, that single hour becomes your greatest advantage. Life is not changed by one extraordinary day. It is changed by ordinary hours, used with extraordinary purpose. Imagine 2 people. Both wake up with the same 24 hours. One spends an hour every day becoming better. The other spends that same hour escaping reality. 1 year later, their lives no longer look the same. Not because one was luckier, not because one was smarter, but because one respected the value of a single hour. Time rewards those who invest it. Think about a bank account. Every wise decision is like making a deposit. Every wasted hour is like making a withdrawal. The problem is, most people never check the balance until they realize they've spent years without investing in themselves. Ask yourself honestly, if someone offered you a fortune in exchange for 1 hour of your life, would you accept? Probably not. Because deep down, you know an hour of your life is priceless. Then why give it away so easily? Why trade it for meaningless distractions? For habits that lead nowhere? For comfort that disappears the moment it is over? Every hour carries potential. It can become knowledge. It can become strength. It can become confidence. Aru. It can quietly disappear forever. The choice is always yours. Many people wait for large blocks of free time. I'll start when I have more time. But successful people understand something different. They build their future, 1 hour at a time. One focused session, one meaningful action, one promise kept. That is enough! Because consistency is more powerful than intensity. One focused hour every day is better than one exhausted weekend every month. Remember this. The quality of your future depends on the quality of your hours. Protect them. Respect them. Do not allow every notification, every distraction, every excuse to steal what can never be replaced. 1 hour may not seem important today, but multiply it by weeks, by months, by years. And suddenly, that single hour becomes the difference between the person you dreamed of becoming and the person you settled for. When you wake up tomorrow, do not ask, how can I pass the time? Ask, how can I invest it? Because time is not something you spend, it is something you exchange. For the life you will eventually live, so choose carefully. So choose carefully. Choose purpose over distraction. Choose growth over comfort. Choose action over delay. Because one well-used hour today can create opportunities that change the rest of your life. And one day, when people admire everything you have built, they will never see that it all began with one ordinary hour that you decided would no longer be wasted. Life rarely changes because of one big decision. More often, it changes because of the small decisions you repeat every single day. 1 extra hour of sleep, 1 unhealthy habit, 1 excuse, 1 postponed opportunity. Individually, they seem harmless, almost impossible to notice, but together, they shape your future. Imagine a pilot flying across the ocean. If the plane changes its direction by just 1 degree, the passengers won't notice. The journey feels exactly the same. But hours later, that tiny change leads to an entirely different destination. Your life works the same way. Small decisions, repeated over time, create massive differences. Every morning, you choose a direction. Every hobby moves you a little farther, either toward the life you want or away from it. That is why discipline is never about one dramatic moment. It is about protecting the little moments. The moments no one celebrates. The moments no one sees. The moments that quietly build your character. Think about a tree. It does not become tall in a single season. It grows little by little, ring by ring, year after year. Some days the growth is invisible, but it never stops. Your progress is often invisible too. The book you read today may not change your life tonight. The workout you finish today may not transform your body tomorrow. The skill you practice today may not reward you this week. But keep going. Because invisible progress is still progress. Many people quit simply because they expect results too quickly. They mistake silence for failure. But silence is often where the greatest transformation begins. The strongest foundations are built underground, long before anyone sees the building. Do not compare your beginning to someone else's success. You are seeing their harvest, not the years they spent planting seeds. Stay focused on your own journey. Water your own garden. Protect your own time. Trust your own process. Because every disciplined choice is another seed. And every C has the potential to become something extraordinary. Remember this. You never know which small decision will completely change your life. One book can introduce a new idea. One conversation can open a new opportunity. One hobby can transform your future. One decision can change your identity forever. Never underestimate the power of doing the right thing, even when it feels insignificant. Because life keeps score. Not once a year, not once a month, every single day. Every choice matters. Every action matters. Every hour matters. And one day, when people look at your success, they will think it happened suddenly. But you will know the truth. It happened. One small decision at a time. So when tomorrow begins, do not search for a giant breakthrough. Search for one better choice, then another, then another. Because extraordinary lives are built by ordinary people who refuse to stop making extraordinary decisions. Time is fair. It does not choose favorites. It does not care where you were born. It does not care how much money you have. It does not care about your excuses. Every morning, time gives every person the same gift. 24 hours. No more. No less. The difference is not in what we receive. The difference is in what we do with it. Some people invest their hours. Others spend them. And many simply lose them. Time has a quiet way of rewarding people. Not immediately, not dramatically, but consistently. It rewards the person who keeps showing up, the person who keeps learning, the person who keeps improving even when nobody notices. Think about a musician. The audience applauds the performance, but they never see the early mornings, the missed weekends, the thousands of hours spent practicing alone. Success appears on stage, but it is built in private. The same is true for every meaningful achievement. Behind every successful business, there were countless ordinary days. Behind every confident speaker, there were moments of doubt. Behind every strong person, there were seasons of struggle. Time rewards those who continue. Anyway, many people become discouraged because they cannot see results. They believe nothing is changing, but growth is often invisible. Just because you cannot measure today's progress does not mean progress is not happening. Imagine watching the sunrise. If you stare at the horizon for 1 minute, the world seems unchanged. But wait a little longer. And suddenly, everything is filled with light. Growth happens the same way. Quietly, patiently, steadily. One disciplined day, then another, then another. Until one day, people ask, how did you become so successful? They see the result. They miss the years that created it. That is why patience is so important. Patience is not waiting without action. Patience is continuing to work while trusting the process. Never confuse slow progress with no progress. Every page you read, every promise you keep, every hour you invest is becoming part of your future. Nothing valuable is wasted. Time remembers every effort. Even when the world forgets, there will be moments when you feel invisible. Moments when your work receives no applause. Moments when nobody believes in your vision. Keep going. The strongest trees grow through every season. Not only during spring, your character grows during the difficult seasons of life. That is why discipline matters more than recognition. Recognition may come later. Discipline must come first. Ask yourself today, if your future depends on how you used your time this week, would you be proud? Or would you wish you had chosen differently? That question is not meant to create guilt. It is meant to create awareness. Because awareness creates change. And change creates a different future. Remember this one. Final thoughts. Time never rewards intentions. It rewards action! Not the plans you made. Not the dreams you imagined. But the work you were willing to do day after day without giving up. Become that person. The person who values every hour. The person who keeps moving. The person who understands that time always rewards those who refuse to waste it. And one day, you will realize that the greatest investment you ever made was not in money. It was in yourself. There will come a day when this chapter of your life will be over. The deadlines, the routines, the busy mornings, the late nights. One day, they will all become memories. And when that day comes, people will not remember how many hours you spent scrolling. They will not remember how many excuses you made. They will remember the life you built, the person you became, the difference you made. That is your legacy. Many people think a legacy is something only famous people leave behind. It isn't. Every person leaves a legacy. Some leave behind inspiration. Others leave behind regret. Some leave behind courage. Others leave behind unfinished dreams. The question is not, will you leave a legacy? The question is, what kind of legacy will it be? Imagine a builder constructing a bridge. He knows he may never meet every person who crosses it, yet he builds it with care, with patience, with excellence, because he understands his work will outlive the moment. Your daily actions are building a bridge too. A bridge between today and every tomorrow that follows. Every hour you invest in learning becomes wisdom that can help someone else. Every act of discipline becomes an example. Every promise you keep shapes your character. And character has a way of influencing people without saying a single word. Think about the people who inspired you. Perhaps it was a parent, a teacher, a mentor, or someone you never even met. Their greatest gift was not their success. It was the example they left behind. Your life has the power to become that example. But examples are never created by accident. They are created by choices. Small choices. Repeated face. Free. Day after day. Do not chase a life that only looks successful. Build a life that truly matters. Because there is a difference. A person may collect wealth and still feel empty. A person may gain attention and still leave no lasting impact. But a person who lives with purpose leaves something far greater. They leave hope. They leave courage. They leave wisdom. They leave a reminder that ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things when they respect their time. One day, someone may ask, how did they become so disciplined? How did they stay so focused? The answer will not be found in one extraordinary moment. It will be found in thousands of ordinary days when you chose growth over comfort, purpose over distraction, action over excuses. That is how legacies are built. Quietly, patiently, one decision at a time. So do not measure your life only by what you achieve. Measure it by who you become. Because achievements may fade. Titles may change. Money may come and go. But the character you build will remain. And long after this day has passed, long after these moments become memories, the time you invested wisely will continue to speak through the life you created. So choose carefully. Not just for today, not just for this year, but for the story you will leave behind. Because every hour you honor, every promise you keep, every disciplined step you take is quietly becoming your legacy. As this message comes to an end, take one last moment to be completely honest with yourself. Not with anyone else. Not with the world. Just with yourself. How many dreams have been waiting for your decision? How many opportunities have passed quietly while you convinced yourself there was always more time? The truth is, life is not measured by the number of years you live. It is measured by what you choose to do with the years you are given. No one knows how many tomorrows remain. That is why today is so valuable. Today is not just another page on the calendar. It is another chance, another opportunity, another beginning. And perhaps that is all you have ever needed. Do not leave this moment with nothing but good intentions. Intentions alone have never changed a life. Action has. The smallest action today is more powerful than the biggest promise you keep postponing. Remember the person you wanted to become. The disciplined version of yourself. The confident version. The focused version. That person is not waiting at the end of the journey. That person is created by every decision you make. Starting now, there will always be distractions. There will always be reasons to wait. There will always be moments when giving up feels easier. But there will also be moments when you realize that every difficult choice was worth it. One day, you will wake up living the life you once imagined. Not because of luck. Not because someone rescued you. But because you respected your time. You protected your focus. And you refused to waste another day. Imagine yourself 5 years from now, standing in front of the life you have built, the healthier body, the stronger mind, the greater confidence, the deeper peace, the dreams that once felt impossible, now becoming your reality. That future begins with one decision. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Right now. The clock has never stopped for anyone. It will not stop for you. But that is not something to fear. It is something to remember. Because every second that passes is asking you one simple question. What will you do with this moment? Answer that question with action! Answer it with discipline. Answer it by becoming the person you know you are capable of becoming. As this speech ends, let this not be the end of your motivation. Let it be the beginning of your transformation. Walk away from this video with one promise. Promise that you will stop wasting time, that you will stop waiting for perfect conditions, that you will honor every hour as if it were one of the most valuable gifts you will ever receive, because it is one final thought. Years from now, you will either thank yourself or you will wish you had started today. Make sure your future self has every reason to be grateful. Thank you for spending these moments with me. If this message gave you a new perspective, share it with someone who needs this reminder today. And if you're ready to continue building a stronger mind, join us again for the next journey. Until then, value your time, protect your purpose, choose your priority, and never forget, the greatest investment you will ever make is the time you invest in becoming the best version of yourself. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next speech.